Dr. Singhvi, first of all, congratulations. It's a pretty phenomenal victory, this 136 seats, comparable to what S.M. Krishna won in 1999, 20 years ago. But tell me this, since we are discussing the national picture, what may be the fallout, according to you, and the consequences and the paving of the way in the road to 2024 because of today's result in Karnataka?
Namaskar, thank you. Before I answer your question directly, I want to underline one thing. It's all very easy to sit back and, applaud and be happy after the results. But we should not allow it to be forgotten that this has been the most blatantly, crudely polarizing, divisive, communal and religious-based campaign by the BJP, even by their standards. I have yet to see speech after speech being started by the top leadership of the BJP, by invocation of religious symbols, communal symbols, etc., etc. Of course, it's a separate story how the EC kept quiet, hardly ever issued notices there. But it is a great tribute and a compliment to the people of Karnataka that they withstood this blatant assault on the divisive agenda. And you heard only otherwise from BJP they talk about someday Tipu Sultan, someday Burqa, someday halal, someday this, someday that. And then, of course, Bajrang Bali was pressed into service as if Bajrang Bali approves of corruption, high prices and inflation, as if Bajrang Bali turns a blind eye to berozgari, unemployment. I think all of this shows that the people of Karnataka, as the BJP suppose, do not eat grass. They don't fall for these silly tactics and tricks.
But Dr. Singhvi, tell me this, since we're talking national picture, one of the fallouts is going to be naturally the Congress party after this humongous victory is going to tell itself, we now are rightful claimants to be the fulcrum of the opposition come 2024. What does this mean? What position does this put a regional satraps like a Mamata Banerjee and Arvind Kejriwal, even an Akhilesh Yadav, because they're going to turn around and say, oh, the Congress is now going to act like a big brother.
I don't think there is any such antagonistic or combative spirit underlying victories such as this. Let me be clear. The Congress, by its very legacy and history, cannot but be in a pole position in any 2024 formulation. You cannot have an effective opposition for the 2024 opposition in the elections without the Congress being a central part of it. As far as your frequent questions about prime ministership is concerned, that is not an issue which the Congress has discussed, raised, pushing, or otherwise creating any division about it. As far as Karnataka is concerned, we now are ruling in 4 states directly. We have 3 more states where we have allies. We otherwise have a pan-India presence. It doesn't need a Karnataka win for us to try to convey the message that we have to be a central part of the whole system for any coalition.
But Mr. Singhvi,
But that is not the approach of the Congress to be the big brother, to be the combative, aggressive, or over-dominant or imposing party at all.
Mr. Singhvi, what is it that will unite the opposition? Only recently we saw the entire opposition, face that setback from the Supreme Court, where they tried to say that they were all being targeted by the government agencies. What is it that will unite the opposition? Can defeat Modi be the only agenda?
I'll tell you. The opposition, what will unite the opposition, without talk of the various divisive issues, which obviously, as devil's advocates, it's your duty to raise, will be the fact that Modi ji at his highest, the Honorable Prime Minister at his highest, does not win more than 39% vote. Therefore, we have to prevent vote division of 61% vote. It's as simple as that. So we as an opposition have to make sure to the extent possible, and I'm not saying it's possible in every constituency, but in those 540 odd constituencies, we have to maximize those where there is only one candidate put up against the BJP. That has to be done state-wise. That has to be a state-wise exercise, and within state, it has to be a constituency-wise exercise. I think to a large measure, you already have the states categorizable in those categories. Okay. And I think that exercise has started. There may be some states which are asymmetrical, which doesn't fit in, but there the effort will be made.
No, I've heard this, Nitish Kumar has also been sort of floating this formula around the strongest candidate to take on the BJP is the unified opposition candidate. By that logic, the Congress will only contest Amethi and Raebareli out of the 80 seats in Uttar Pradesh. The Congress would be happy to not contest 78 other seats?
In the event that there is a coalition of the kind we just described, Congress will certainly not claim a dominant role in Uttar Pradesh. Okay. But not claiming any dominant or even a semi-dominant role in Uttar Pradesh is nowhere near your formulation of it, that we have only 2 seats to contest in UP. Okay. I think these are too extreme. The truth lies somewhere in between. But certainly I can say without any contradiction, doubt of contradiction, that Congress is not going to claim a big chunk or a lion's share in Uttar Pradesh, but provided you need 2 hands to clap.
Clap, okay. Fair enough.
You
okay.
need equally that reciprocation in elsewhere, in other states.
In other states as well. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Dr. Singhvi, as always, a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much.